you just didn't vote, or you would lose your job, or you could be lynched. Something bad would happen to you, and most everybody had a story or a history of why it was not good. It didn't make good practical day-to-day sense to vote. Began to realize that the United States was not living up to its Constitution, and that there was denial of rights of American citizens that was continuing here in the United States. It was ironic that I got this book, The Negro Revolt, at the same time I was writing a paper on Beard's interpretation of the Constitution of the United States. And the connection was made at that point, and that's what engaged me. When Dr. King sent out the call for students around the country, approximately 375 answered the call. There were 7 of us from Rhode Island. And just because legislation is passed does not mean that change is going to come. And so Dr. King and his strategists felt that that Voting Rights Act needed to be challenged, and basically developed a plan to register voters and to challenge various obstacles that existed in some targeted black belt counties in the United States, in the South, that had less than 1% of that total population in those counties actually voting. Our Rhode Island group, we were designated to work in a place called Choctaw County, Alabama, and a little town called Leesten, Alabama. Our county was right in the middle of the action in Lowndes County, and all the guys from SNCC, and call it SNCC and SLIC, we all used to kind of get together on common demonstrations and things like that. We knew the Klan was always around and doing things, but when he actually came right through the neighborhood, and we saw in the lead car the sheriff of the county in the lead car, because he was pretty recognizable. That was before we had the federal coverage and all that stuff. That was scary. So fear, I mean, it was like every day, and that helped me to understand the kind of fear and how fear can just really, ruin your soul, and how that had an impact on the lives of black people in the South during that time. It wasn't that long ago when there was thousands of lynchings that occurred in the South, which that lingering effect always lingered within the culture of the black community. Didn't register much with me up in the North, but when I got down there, then I began to realize that something was drastically wrong. The time spent in Atlanta in the orientation, that was a greening for me. The power of nonviolence, strategic planning. People tend to think of Dr. King as, a civil rights leader that just stirred up the truth, but he was a brilliant strategist because he knew the implications internationally and nationally, how that could get back to help leverage democracy principles. And then finally, since I'd like to think that I was a student of something, of history, to this day, I maintain that, and as the years go on, there's an increasing awareness of the significance of the civil rights movement to all of us, because it strengthened the Constitution of the United States of America, made us a stronger Constitution, made us a stronger people. It's encouraged more people of different stripes to help build our country, and it even has a relationship to the whole immigration situation now. I mean, the fact that Barack Obama is the President of the United States, it's not just something that black people should be proud of. It's something we all should be proud of, that our country can go through that kind of transformation in such a short period of time and actually elect who everyone felt was the best person to represent our country. So I think the story is still unfolding and what the meaning of the civil rights movement was to our country.